I always say that numbers don't lie. In this video, I want to talk about 8 major risks in the roofing business because 90% of roofing companies are out of business within 7 years. Number one risk for me personally in the roofing business is fatality. Just 2 weeks ago, a roofer in New Jersey died, and now business owner facing $1.8 million fine from OSHA. Of course, it's hard financially, it's hard mentally, and you want to make sure you have work comp insurance for stuff like that, and you want to make sure you comply with the OSHA and all the regulations to keep your workers safe. But we're in dangerous trade, and as much as we try to protect, stuff happens. I know, like that van right there, one of my friends fell off the ladder, just literally tying ladder on top of the van, slipped, fell down, broke his leg. It happens all the time. So when you go into roofing business, you have to think and brainstorm what you're gonna do to minimize that risk. And as a business owner, if you don't want to risk it, you want to be showing good example how you're gonna protect you guys on the roof, how you're gonna protect yourself. Risk number 2 is job mistakes. You will have, sooner or later, people you hire will make major mistakes. I know really big contractor who went out of business because he bid it on a huge commercial job, and he underbid it because it was almost 1,000 square off of his estimate. He didn't read blueprints, or his estimator didn't, literally put him out of business. So you want to cover your mistakes, maybe have insurance for those mistakes, because sooner or later somebody will make a really big mistake. And I know in my business, I've paid for a lot of my mistakes and my sales guys' mistakes. You cannot always punish employee or sales rep for a mistake. I have a friend who had to get insurance involved because his crew removed siding on their own house, and it takes about a day to remove the siding. It takes about a week to put it back, and their insurance came back and did $20,000. So the second risk is obviously mistakes. In construction, mistakes are very costly, and you want to make sure you cover for them. Risk number 3 is the theft. Sooner or later, somebody will steal from you. If you're gonna grow your business, you're gonna possess more and more tools, trailers, equipment, you name it. And you have to have really thick skin in this business. Do not let it affect your mentality, your productivity. A couple of years ago, we came to work and both of our trailers were completely cleaned out. They took about $15,000 worth of tools, and my team was furious. They want to find out who it is. They would kill them. They would do this and this. And I'm just calm. In those moments, for some reason, I just don't react. I only know that I have to go to work. I have to keep producing money. It cannot stop me, and it cannot stop you. If you're serious about getting in the construction business and the roofing business, you have to act quickly. Yeah, you will have to file a police report. Hopefully you did have insurance. You just have to count it as a risk, maybe have a little cushion, so when that happens, you have enough money to go to Home Depot, replace them really quick, so you keep going to the next jobs and keep producing. Risk number 4 is a risk of financial theft. Just the nature of our business, people will be dealing with a lot of checks. It's very common for salespeople to steal money. I have 4 thefts in 5 years. I have a salesperson who is a felon now, who stole like $47,000. I have $5,000 assistant who decided to pay her credit cards with our credit cards and things like that. People will be tempting to look how much money you have in a bank, and they often tend to think that roofers make way too much. The problem with the roofing business is we have a lot of money coming through our business in and out, and they're not ours to keep. So people think, oh, it's a $10,000 job, but they don't realize it's only $1,000 profit, and they might steal or try to steal a couple thousand for themselves, and that's how you get into deep trouble. We're only in the middle of our list, and I want to take a quick break, and I want to introduce you to my friend Josh Kortner with the Contractors Agency. Josh dedicated his life pretty much to finding insurance for contractors. We have a lot of moving parts. If you are underinsured, or if you're not sure if you have enough insurance, I work with Josh. He helped me with the 2 of my 3 insurances last 6 months. I rarely introduce people to my audience, and when I do, I'm 100% staying behind them. Josh is a true professional to what he does. I've never met anybody like that who is found such a small niche and just wants to be the best at it. Give him a call if you're looking for insurance. Link to his information is going to be below to this video. I don't get any commissions. This is pure recommendation. The risk is too big and I don't want to lose everything I worked too hard for. Risk number 5 is government action. I cannot tell you how many friends I have in business who've been kicked out of the state, have to close their doors, file bankruptcy. If government takes action against your license for any reason, it can be dispute with the employee, it can be something with your license, it can be warranty, it can be your paperwork, it can be failed audit, which is another risk. But government can definitely take an action. I remember when government took action against us just because of the lapse of our work comp insurance, and they say we couldn't even advertise. We've been in business for years, and government says, well, you have to pull everything down. You cannot even be in business right now. Not only install, not pull a permit. I'm talking about advertise. I'm talking about going and sales appointments. Like how are you supposed to stop all of that? Obviously, sometimes you just cannot build a job, but to say that you cannot even advertise and go try to acquire a new business, I mean, government is not always reasonable. Some states, like Minnesota is one of them, are very, very regulated and very, very hard to do business, or Florida is another one. But definitely look into all the legality of your business, all the licensing, and stay on top of it too, because it's very easy to lose track and pretty much essentially be out of business. Risk number 6 is work comp audits. Probably number 1 reason why everybody is closing companies, opening new ones. I know a lot of guys who are not even owner of the company because they fail audit, they owe work comp or somebody a whole bunch of money, and they open new business under wife's name, sister's name, mom's name, son's name, who knows who. But you definitely want to be careful with the work comp audit. Again, fatality stuff happens, incidents, accidents on the job site, it happens all the time. You want to be protected, you want to do it right. It's not a gray area, it's literally black and white. You can treat it as a gray area and you can get in a really big trouble. I know a lot of people are talking about 1099 versus W2, employees versus independent, and I know everybody wants to try to find easy way not to have this risk, but I'm telling you, you have to do it right. You can find loopholes if you want, but those loopholes at the end of the day can close your business. So it's worth to do it right. Make sure you have proper insurance, proper work comp, proper general liability, and make sure you prepare during the year for that audit. The problem is a lot of guys are underinsured, they're not thinking about work comp audit, and they're not charging enough for their jobs. They pretty much breaking even, and then at the end of the year when they get hit with a big number from work comp audit, you know, $40,000, $50,000, they don't have it, they close the company, start over, but unfortunately it literally puts them out of business. Risk number 7 is taxes. Taxes are not bankruptcy excluded, so expense. So if you owe taxes, you still have to pay them even if you decide to file bankruptcy. It's not like you owe a supplier or something. So taxes is definitely will put you out of business, especially if the number is too big. You can have a lien on your business, and I've met a lot of people who did not collect enough money, and just because how our receivables, payables go sometimes, it's really hard to see the trees in the forest. So what's going to happen is if you're upside down, you'll have to catch up sooner or later, and sometimes it takes years. Pay attention how much taxes you owe, especially as you grow. I've seen more people to lose business when they made 10 times more money than small companies. So when you grow, you have to pay attention how much you owe to the government, and if you don't, you're just asking for trouble. And the risk number 8, number 1 risk for me is debt. I've been debt free for years. I also owe a lot of debt, and I'm telling you, it's much easier when you don't owe anyone. Unfortunately, especially if you're an insurance restoration contractor, Insurance companies will starve you to death. Sometimes you'll have $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, I don't know, millions if you're a really big company in receivables. You'll have work comp, you have employees, you'll have all the expenses, and we don't always get down payment on the jobs, or maybe you're a commercial contractor. So it's going to be very, very tempting to borrow money to keep producing jobs. And a lot of roofing companies, even the biggest one out there, $30-40 million companies, they just run Ponzi schemes. And I know when I was $1-2 million company, I was debt free, and when I was running $4 million company, all of a sudden I started be depending on debt, at least in the winter times, because I didn't want to let my employee go, or I had to finance my jobs, with a credit from supplier. The problem with that, when you're depending on debt, you don't see the real cash, the real numbers, and you're always hoping that it's gonna work out. And sometimes it does, but sometimes you take a huge risk. I know people who've done hundreds of millions of dollars and they did not sell their company, did not pass it to their kids. They closed it because the companies were so much in debt, there's no way out of it. I know I'm a spender myself, so this one is really, really hard for me, but I'm learning every single day how to borrow less money or not borrow at all if possible, and how to stay debt free. So those are 8 risks that I think are the biggest ones. Let me know what you think in comments below, what kind of risk I forgot or maybe didn't mention in this video. Would like to hear from you. I'll see you guys soon in the next video.